Alright guys, Darren from FBA Elite and welcome back to another video. So in this week's video, we're going to be taking a look at a brand on Amazon that is absolutely smashing it with their FBA business. And the reason that I wanted to take a look at this particular brand is I think there are a number of lessons for us to learn from them, but also a couple of the takeaways from this video might go against the traditional FBA teachings as to what would make a successful product. So I think it's really important sometimes to challenge these assumptions and challenge these common teachings, and to see a real world example of this in practice would be beneficial for all of us. So the brand that I'm going to be looking at in this video is called Song Mix. I presume that's how you pronounce it. Now, this is a brand that's been on my radar for probably a couple of years, and I'll often go through their store, check out their products and get product ideas. So if you're struggling for product ideas at the moment, pop Song Mix into your search bar and go through some of their products. You might see something of interest to you. So let me just go through this process now. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the store raider technique, as I've covered it many, many times. Let's click on one of their products. I won't choose one of their sponsored as I'm not that unfair. So I'm just gonna pick one of their products and then click through to their actual seller page. So from here, we can see all of their products. So at the moment, they are selling 895 different products on Amazon.co.uk. I presume they're selling on other marketplaces as well, but just on .co.uk, we're going to focus today. So these guys are absolutely smashing it. Now, they have got a couple of other brands here, all under the same company. One of them looks to be predominantly cat related. So if that's something that's interesting to you, by all means, take a look through. And I think the other one here, Versagli, or however you pronounce it, is predominantly furniture, which is probably too big, really, especially with the way things are with shipping fees. Looking at furniture, I don't think is the right call at the moment. So we're going to focus on the Song Mix branded products. So let's just click on that. So that brings us down to 580 products. I'm just going to run Helium 10. I'll bring up X-Ray, and this will show us all of their products on this first page of results. So you can see here, they are doing pretty well. You've got £350,000 of revenue on this first page of products. And if we just go back down to the bottom, we've got 37 pages of products. So let me just click on one of these and run X-Ray again, just to give you guys an idea of how well these guys are doing. And the reason I wanted to kind of get that point across is they're doing really well with lots of products, lots of FBA private label product. And like I say, a couple of things they are doing is going against the grain, going against the teachings, going against what we think makes a product successful on Amazon. So the first thing, and I think this is the most important takeaway, and I know there will be a number of people that disagree with this, and in some instances they are right to do so, but I think Song Mix are proving that it isn't as important as we believe. So the first thing that I want to talk about is branding. So really there are two parts to the branding. One is the name itself, and then the second is whether you need to do product specific branding if you do multiple products. So let's be honest, Song Mix, I mean, it's not the best brand name. Yes, it doesn't really mean anything. Maybe, well, if you try to look into it, maybe they started off selling microphones. I don't know. But the brand name itself doesn't mean a thing, but it certainly doesn't seem to be impacting their success. So I know many people, when they start their FBA businesses, they'll lose hours, days, sometimes even weeks, and sometimes it will even stop them making progress because they cannot decide what brand name to pick for their business, because they think it's so important. And yes, it is important, but it goes to show you don't need a great brand name to succeed on Amazon. So that's the first thing that goes against the grain. The second thing is people talk about branding specifically to the types of products they're selling. So for example, if you're selling coat hangers, maybe, or clothes hangers, should I say, maybe you want to come up with a clever brand that has some sort of tie into that. But as you can see, these guys are using it for everything from clothes hangers to office chairs to shelving to drawer organizers, jewelry boxes, weights. I mean, it's clearly not impacting their sales. Maybe it is, maybe, maybe I'm being generous by saying it's not. Maybe it does have a small impact, but certainly looking at the stats in X-Ray, their products are doing very well without lots of fancy branding. If we actually go to their storefront and I show you their designs and their logo, even that isn't the best stuff in the world, in my opinion. And if anyone from Song Mix is watching this, I apologize. I'm not trying to destroy your brand. I'm just trying to get the point across that branding maybe isn't as important as some people do get hung up on. So this is the Song Mix logo and their branding. It's all quite neutral. It's not really offensive, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not going to convince you to buy a product. It's the other things that convince people more, such as the main photo, the number of reviews you got, your price point, your features, your perceived value. So that is one of the key things I want you guys to take away from this video with regards to branding. There's also another point I'm going to come back to in a moment. Just before I do, there's one question I get asked quite frequently. It's about some of these extras that appear within my search results. How do I get them to appear? Well, these are actually part of Helium 10. So if you're a Helium 10 subscriber, which I know many of you guys are, you can enable this if it isn't already automatically enabled, and these will appear. So what's really useful is sometimes you'll be looking through search results, and rather than trying to analyze a particular group of search results, you might want to jump straight through to a category. So I can see all of the categories these products are listed in. You also got some other shortcuts here. So for example, you can see the BSR history. So maybe if you're not sure if you're in a seasonal niche, you can just jump onto this and use these tools. So that's one of the features that are baked straight into the search results. And if you click through to any of these products, you'll also see the sales history graph. And this is one of the things that I talk about in many of the videos, looking at the sales history, looking at the price point history. So having these graphs baked directly into both the search results and the product detail pages, plus these quick links here to look at things such as inventory levels. So maybe you're doing some manual tracking and you want to see how many are in stock. You can use all of these tools. So sometimes when I'm talking about Helium 10 and just talking about X-ray, I don't actually explain clearly that there's more to Helium 10 than just X-ray. You've got all of the tools on the website, which I've showed you guys many times, but also these features on the search results and product detail pages, which help with your product research. So the next thing that I want to talk about is launching multiple products in the same niche. So people, when they come to Amazon FBA, they'll launch their first product, hopefully enjoy some success with it, and then they'll just start looking into completely unrelated niches. Whereas quite often there are multiple opportunities within the same niche. So Songmix are doing a great job with their coat hangers. I think they've got quite a few here. I mean, there's 4 or 5 on that page alone, but if we do the search and just put clothes hangers, should I say, clothes hangers there, and we'll see how many products they've actually got. So they've got 51 different types of clothes hangers. Now, I know the clothes hanger niche is probably a bit too competitive for most new sellers, but it's just something to keep in mind whenever you find a niche, or if you're looking for your second product or your third product. You don't always have to go away from where you are. There might be other opportunities within the niche. And if you can get another product within those search results, then you're competing with less people. And in the end, you'll get someone like Songmix who comes in to dominate. So let me just try it without their brand and just do a general search for clothes hangers. And I'll just run X-ray to save me having to scroll through all of these, maximize that. And then we can see, so actually Songmix don't appear at the top of the search results here, but look how competitive it is. Look at the number of sales. People are selling clothes hangers. That is insane. 1.2 million revenue per month on clothes hangers just in the UK. It's bonkers, absolutely bonkers. But if we scroll down further, actually if I just sort this by brand, I'm sure we'll see Songmix have got quite a few listings here within the kind of the top page or two, and so they're doing really well with just coat hangers, and you don't even need to be at the top. And again, that's another thing to take away from this video. You don't always have to be at the top of the search results to make money on Amazon. I've got products at kind of average positions, maybe 10, 15, 20. As long as the demand's there and you've done your research to ensure the demand is spread well across that first page, maybe onto page 2 as well, gives you a very wide landing zone for your product when you launch it on Amazon, get those sales and organic ranks improve. And then you can have success without having to compete at the very top, because sometimes it is much harder to compete at the top of these positions here with huge sales than it is just to sit a bit further down the page, maybe 5th, 10th, 15th, making a few hundred sales per month at a much lower competition, and also a lot less stress. You know, trying to compete with these sales is a lot more work. So hopefully you guys have found that helpful, just seeing things in a slightly different way. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button. If you want to see the method that I'm currently using post-COVID to find the best products to sell on Amazon, I'll pop up a video in front of me now, and I recommend you guys give that a watch.